What is up, everyone? It's your boy, Sharp Teeth Girl! And today, we're going to have a little discussion about the SURPRISE FEH Channel. My teeth are so sharp. So, where do we start? I guess I'm going to go a bit out of order here, since, honestly, gardening is really not all that important. Alright, so, first and foremost, duo heroes, Hector and Lilina. Henceforth known as Daddy Path of the 6 Paths of Pain Plus. Their stupid broken ass beam of 20 damage more than earns them the spot. I'm going to straight up say that this is a huge mistake. Well, a huge mistake for game balance anyway. If they're making money, of course, I mean it certainly isn't. Because you know what? Tons of people are going to summon for this due to cuteness alone. But for me, this is the kind of terrible evil I've been looking for since the Duma. So as you already know, I walk the 6 Paths of Pain Plus. Dishing out ridiculous amount of out-of-combat damage is kind of my jam. Now, before the battle is even joined, I can have the enemy lose all their HP, and then mercilessly send in, oh, I don't know, the Sheep Path, Jenny, or the Gay Clown, Clownya, and just have them all killed. 1 damage is all it takes for me to kill everyone. Even guys with hardy bearing will not be able to stand against my final technique. So you damn straight I'm going to at least summon 2 or 3 of them. Well, I guess it depends if the skill's activation is not tied to the entire character themselves, and only restricted to each individual copies of Hector and Lilina. Another thing about them is that, well, now that their bullshit dual skills have been power creep to 185, they'll show up in the arena, and probably be able to use their abilities. It would not surprise me if they allow this character in Aether raids as well. It's kind of funny, because pair up being restricted to only a few modes, it pretty much just made it fizzle out. You don't get to use them much, so they kind of just fizzle out in, well, in modes that matters anyway. So it kind of just got fizzled out in a quick death. So I honestly don't know, like, I honestly didn't even know that you could pair up in Rooker Sieges, until someone told me. And you know, the funny thing is, now they're going to pretend that pair up didn't really even exist, because now they have bullshit characters such as Hector and Lilina. The worst thing is, it's actually not a bad idea. For casuals, you know, just being cute is good enough to sell this. All you needed was the art, a support conversation, and that'll hit home and you have a done deal. Now, well, guys like me who values 20 damage to make their Gay Clown Clownya kill everyone is going to want to summon on this, multiple copies to boot if they are stackable. I can only imagine what kind of horrid future this unit will bring to the game. Well, I suppose thinking over it might not be too bad if the AI can't activate the skill, although it would kind of suck for Aether defense, but anyway, you never know. I mean, if they do well, maybe it's not such a good idea to invest on bike after all. I mean, if the AI could activate the skills, the bike's value has just gone down dramatically. I'll have to think it over. Although I guess it does make Nagi better, but honestly, Nagi's not a good character. I mean, you think that it's a hard counter, but the problem with Nagi is that, well, you're a dragon, so there's a million dragon counters to it now, and restricting your meta to a 5-star character, a specific character, not even skill inheritance, is just not a good idea. Anyway, so if it is AR capable, alright, let's just say Hector and Lilina is arena raid capable, then you shouldn't be surprised if future units come and have the ability to demolish like 3 lines of your buildings in one go. I mean, I've said this before when I analyze Thrasir. When I analyzed her, I thought that summoning for her was a bit of a mistake, because even if you do care about Aether raids, 1, Thrasir gives stupid buffs, defends, HP, and 2nd, Thrasir, she's a good unit. Great, in fact. But I believe the truly superior are ones that can affect the map in some meaningful way. That is why I value Duma and why I will value Hector and Lilina as well. Now that this precedence has been made because of them, we're likely going to see these become a thing in the 4th generation. I suppose we'll have to see when the units actually come out. Maybe there's some restriction to deploying them, or some restriction to actually using those skills. My only hope is that they don't screw over the previous generation too badly by making these guys with clickable techniques too commonplace. Or maybe, hopefully, not gonna happen, carry it on to some certain Gen 1 characters. Or, oh man, use polymerization and combine Gen 1 characters into these kind of things. Can you imagine, like, combining, I don't know, Crom and Robin together into a duo hero with polymerization? That's amazing! That would have been great! I would love something like that. Of course, that's not going to happen, but let's just say if it does, that would please me deeply. It would make me very happy. Anyway, now, next, let's have a little chat about the new roguelike mode, the Hall of Forms, or a Battle Factory, depending on your religion. Now this, my friend, is a game mode that I like a lot. Now remember a long time ago I mentioned that there should be a mode where you have units start at a low level and then progress through a storyline by leveling up or finding treasures or something like that. Well, what we got is not quite as grandiose as this, but it's not a bad start. I mean, I swear the people of IS must have watched my videos at some point, or I can see the future. Like Salina Miku's Revines, based on my Wudao build a long time ago, the Rise of Healers, all kinds of ridiculous things I've done, so on and so forth. Really, it's funny how it all worked out. The story portion instead became a silly 20-hour farm simulator called Lost Lore, while the meat of the gameplay got split in half into this quiet, soulless dungeon where you just have like 4 characters going through like a mode. Not unlike the training tower. Now, anyway, so the thing that this thing works, the way it works is that you level up. You gear up your character as you advance through these chambers. Now, the first guy to score a kill naps a skill, as was demonstrated by Alm and Celica. Now, I'm not sure of a few things, like one such as, what happens if you were to skip shaping? I don't know why you would. I mean, do you get to hold on to a skill point for the next set of randomly generated skill? But I don't see any indicator that that's the case. And it might just be something where if you would use, if you're happy with the skills that you've got in your slots, your weapon slots, your ABC, and blah blah blah, and your character's max merge, since gaining a new skill in the same slot, namely the weapon ABC and seal slot, replaces a skill that was originally there. I don't know. Might actually serve a purpose, but it's a guess for now. Anyway, another thing I'm not sure about is if you can go through a previous level to gear up again. Now, I don't think so, and you really shouldn't be able to. But you never know with IS these days. My hope is that you can't go through these old chambers, and that you're stuck with the choices you've made, and then you face some horrible boss at the end of this journey, get all your rewards, yada yada yada, all done. But you know what? I only wish that there's story attached to this ordeal. I mean, we have some kind of theme going on, right? We have some sort of theme going on. Like for this one example, we have Alm and Celica. So having Alm and Celica and like May and Boy communicating with each other really should have been a thing. But you know what? Let's take it a step further. You know how we have forging bonds, right? It's right now as it is. It's just a stupid ass grind. Why not combine this and Lost Lores and turn it into some kind of brilliant Fire Emblem, mini Fire Emblem game each session? Imagine you play through the maps. The main story is that you go through the Lost Lore, right? Yeah, reenact the story or whatever, or a new what if story altogether. You advance through the maps, and in the middle you get these fun support conversations that Forging Bonds is so much known for. And you combine a good gameplay of this roguelike thing, and you know what? It would have been great. You combine these 3 game modes together. Just have the rewards from the previous modes carry over. Like, you know, they all have like their own set of rewards. Just have them all combined together, carry it over, and we can have a big grand game mode. That'll actually be kind of interesting. Listen, we already have Tempest Trials, if we want to grind. Though I do kind of miss the old Tempest Trials when it was actually difficult, especially the first one. But I mean, I guess I could see that getting old as well. I mean, trying hard every single week is a burden. And that is why Aether Raids kind of doesn't fizzled out for me. I still kind of just play a little bit to maintain tier 21 and to see my defense rip people to shreds. But, you know, that gets old. See, this is exactly why I want to push Lost Lores, Forging Bonds, and Hall of Forms into a single mode. Right now, although Halls of Form looks rather interesting, it too will get old rather quickly, as you're just advancing some stage with some soulless chess pieces without any form of stimulation. Now, but imagine if these characters, they talk to each other. Finishing a story map grants a cutscene, or, oh man, branching path with some what-if stories, then that would be a masterpiece. Like, seriously, we can even toss Grand Conquest into the mix, turning into some kind of, like, major map that you can shape. Like, oh man, I don't know if you guys play Soul Calibur 3 and it's, the Sword of Souls or whatever storyline thing. That was interesting. I don't even know how they end up turning Soul Calibur into a RTS for a second there, but it was very interesting. Grand Conquest and this all put together. Oh my god, that would be such an awesome game mode. But anyway, listen. Never mind about that just now. Let's just talk about the stories. I come up with these so-called brain damage stories from grand hero battles or unit showcase mostly to entertain myself. Because otherwise you're just dealing with units that say the same thing, acts the same way, blah 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 blah. But imagine you have these stories and, you know what, it's officially a real thing. Hell, it's very possible. I mean, this is an alternative universe where everybody from outside the game can all join together, so anything can happen. Look, okay, right. Let's go with some of my brain damage stories. Selena Miku traveling back in time to marry Crom and birth Lucina. Why the not? The evil Delthia's vicious lollyfangs turn Alm into Nino. Why the hell not? Dr. Sakura, Nurse Kranye, cures the sick and elderly and starts a Yellow Turban Rebellion and fights a different villain each week. Why not? The possibility is endless. And the beauty of Fire Emblem is that these characters are interesting enough that you can come up with some nonsense stories and still be entertaining somehow. They're squandering what they have. But I digress. As it is right now, the Hall of Forms is just another game mode. That'll be in the schedule, where you clear for some rewards, and it might get old after a while. But if IS really watches my nonsense videos, then I implore you to consider my proposal. Well, it's still fine as it is, I suppose. Another stamina for the game mode is kind of iffy, but you know what? These torches or whatever they are, it's not a big deal. Considering that you earn more through the process, as you've seen, and we're more likely to get more from missions that we get from statues, such as, oh, I don't know, oh man, clear a 2nd, or 5th, or 8th stratum in the trading towers. Or maybe go to the arena to fight 5 times. Oh boy. So we're probably not going to be wanting on this stamina. But anyway, this appears to be a non-competitive game mode, so it doesn't matter which way we go with it. I just hope that we have some story flavor to it down the line. Now finally, let's talk about Farmville, I guess. So, the gardening thing. I guess we just plant some crops, serve them the dinner with cooking mama, Sharina, and I suppose all characters supposedly are capable of cooking, but I think that guys like Arvis or Surtur have a much finer edge to that sort of stuff. You gain a minuscule amount of feathers for doing this thing, so I mean it's not a huge deal. You just kind of do it for fun. I mean, I suppose you could also grow dragon flowers. I mean, the ratio is kind of low, but you know what? It's better than buying songs, in my opinion. It takes a while, whatever. Anyway, I think that Farmville might do better, might do well if the rewards are higher. more incentive to play with it. And that you gain ingredients from, I don't know, like doing battles in the Hall of Forms. You know, what do you know? It's a roguelike dungeon, so finding treasures shouldn't be out of the question. I think that if it's a game mode that you can use to carry out like treasures that you can bring into other game modes, it would be kind of interesting. I mean, yeah, I guess I might be a bit stuck with the idea of having a mini Fire Emblem game with good incentives, but you know what? That sort of stuff gives people reasons to play. We don't need more mind-numbing grind that plagues much of the end game. We need something that breathes new life into the game. And if we were to, say, finally address power creep in some more meaningful way, like some story trials, you know, like some kind of interesting story that makes, I don't know, only Gen 1, and then eventually, as the years go on, Gen 2 and Gen 3 characters, to get these, like, I don't know, stat bonuses, new skills, something like that, instead of, like, these dragon flowers that should have been only restricted to Gen 1 units, then, you know what? I'll say it now. I wouldn't mind, once again, spending tens of thousands back into the game again. There is a lot of potential in this game still, and that is a fact. I just hope that such things would be a thing in my or this game's lifetime. Unfortunately, I am no stockholder, so my words don't hold any stock, but I hope that if you're a brilliant stockholder and you're watching this dumb video, you could consider that to make you some money. Then we have so much potential in the story and gameplay with this game that it's a shame not to take advantage of it. You make so much more money if you pull it through. It's just like how, you know, I know people are not going to always agree with me on this, but Awakening and its waifu pandering, it saved the series. Honestly, that's why Fire Emblem became the way it is now. Back in the day, it was a strategy game with a more serious story. It is good. It is fine. You know what? It's fine as it was. But now, it being some kind of dating simulator, it's not so very bad either. I honestly think that we can have the best of both worlds. But anyway, I should not dwell into this. This is not something we're supposed to be talking about. Listen, we're doing we're doing much better than Pokemon Masters. I had fun with it, but honestly, that's a true shame right there. It didn't even last all that long. It's like kind of on the verge of dying unless Dina quickly do something about it. So you know what? I must be thankful that despite all these years, I can still care about this game. At least our devs are still doing something. We're still doing something about the game. I just wish that we'll do more. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this update in particular. I know I have some outlandish thoughts and some strong opinions, but here's to hoping that this game will improve for years to come. I thank you all for watching. Until next time.